What is up, beautiful people? We are here for, excuse me. All right, we are locked in for another edition of My Plate, My Choice, right? Um, welcome, welcome. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you all are staying warm on this unexpected super cold day here in Birmingham, Alabama. But I don't know where you are for all of our viewers. It may be in different places, but it is cold here today. So I hope that you guys are staying warm on a day like today. And as always, man, I truly appreciate you all for taking time to lock in with me and give us the opportunity to grow and share and build and interact about things that are on the agenda to help us, right? Help us to be better, help us to grow all around. Without further ado, let's get into it though. I'm not even a fan of appetizers for real when I go out to eat, so I don't really like to do a lot of pre-talking. I just like to get straight to it. Okay, listen. As we gear up for the holidays, some of you all's favorite time of the year, right? As we gear up for the holidays, there are certain things we must keep in mind. There are certain things we must keep in mind. There are certain things we must be cognizant of, and there are certain things that we must go ahead and address, right? And I feel like if we go ahead and address these things on the front end, we can make decisions, right? We can make decisions that will help us be better in the long run, okay? So let me ask y'all a simple question. What is war, right? I want you to think about that. What does the word war mean to you? When I say war, right, what comes to mind? Do you immediately think about a specific war? Do you immediately think about two opposing sides, and you're thinking about like for some who may be fans of Marvels, right? Do you think about the war with the Avengers? Do you think about realistic wars, fictional wars? Like, what does the word war, simple three-letter word, but a very powerful word, what does that mean to you, right? I'm gonna give you the definition of war. War is a struggle between opposing forces or for a particular goal. Okay. War is a struggle between opposing forces or for a particular goal. Now, listen, hold on. My bad. I forgot to tell you, I'm not cooking today because we got something very important to talk about. My bad. My bad. Y'all know when I'm here and not in the kitchen, we got to get to some business, right? So I don't know if you're looking for a real recipe, but I have to give you something more important than recipe today. Okay. So boom. All right. So war, a struggle between opposing forces or for a particular goal, right? That is war. Now, oftentimes when you think about the word war, right, your mind goes somewhere else, right? Which is why I said in the beginning, your mind goes to something else. Your mind goes to another place. Your mind goes to other thoughts. Like I said, a specific war, right? A fictional war, a non fictional war, right? Like your mind goes somewhere else. Today, I want to talk about the war within, though, right? I want to talk about how we are constantly at war with ourselves. George, what do you mean? I'm not at war with myself. Okay, you don't think so, but let me help you understand how you are at war with yourself. And this may apply, this initial statement may apply to some, may not apply to all, but just stay with me because I'm going to catch everybody on this bus. Then we're going to take a ride. All right. So, being at war with yourself, let me give you an example of what I mean when I say that, right? If you are on different types of medications, right? Different things that you have to take for this health issue, for that health issue, for this thing, for that thing, right? You are frustrated, you get aggravated, you are tired of taking said medications, but you refuse to do the simple things that would help you to remove yourself from having to depend on or lean on said medications. That is a war because mentally you want one thing, physically you are unwilling to do what needs to be done to prevent that or to aid in that, right? Because everything starts in the mind, right? Everything that you plan. I don't care if you want to start a business, it starts in the mind, right? You have to have a vision for it. You have to plan it, you have to chart it, you have to map it out, all those things. Everything starts in the mind, right? So war also starts in the mind because again, I have a vision for what I want myself to look like. I have a vision for where I want to be health wise. I have a vision for it. Yeah, I got a vision for it. But now, after I have established that vision, you got a certain weight goal. I want to weigh X amount of pounds, whatever that is. You have now established said vision, right? Now, once you put that vision out there, now there must be corresponding action to align with said vision, right? So if I think one way, but my actions lead me another way, that is indeed me at war with myself. And that is where a lot of us constantly are. Here's why. Because a lot of these things, right? A lot of these things that we deal with, right? Whether you know it yet or not, whether you've had a doctor's report that says it or not, if you haven't gotten to that place yet, we keep making poor choices and you will end up there. Okay. We got to understand this though. A lot of those medications, a lot of those things that we are forced to take, lean on, are directly correlated to a lack of a good decision at the table. George, you make it sound so simple. I know, because it is. It is. It is. But we're losing the war. And you've been at war with yourself for years. And you continue to be at war with yourself. You have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. Am I on the side of health? Or am I on the side of aiding in my own demise? Those are the two choices. That is the war. I'm either on the side of health or I'm on the side that aids in my own demise. See, here's what I mean when I say you're at war with yourself. You say, man, I really have this goal for myself to close out the year. I really have this goal for myself. I really want to lose in the next 6 months X amount of weight, right? I really want to be able to fit into this size in the next, however, for 2025, for 2026, I want to be in this place health-wise. I want my numbers for different categories to be in these spaces, right? Boom. That's what you say. Now you have picked the side mentally. You have picked the side. But now, physically, you must begin to do things that align with that side. See, when friends go out to certain places, you got to say no, because that won't align with where I'm going. And I know if I go there, I'm going to want to eat there. Not I'm going to just go. No, I'm at war. And if I'm at war, right? When you are at war, it is the goal of whatever side wants to win to trap the other side, right? You want to try to pinpoint the weaknesses of the other side, and you want to capitalize on those weaknesses. You know your own weaknesses. So if I know my own weaknesses, in order for me to not put myself in a terrible position, I can't allow my weaknesses to now lead me. I've got to look at my weaknesses, identify them, and make sure that I now abstain or put some distance between me and my weakness. Okay, you want me to go a little deeper? I got you. Let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a question. Can you see the correlation between the lack of discipline with your physical body and the lack of discipline in the word? Can you see a correlation between the two? Because I promise you it is, right? You can't be disciplined with this, and you also can't be as disciplined as you need to be in the word. They go together. It's the same discipline. It's the same discipline. How so, George? Okay, one cannot operate in faith and operate in fear at the same time, right? They work in opposition of each other. Faith and fear cannot coexist in the same place, right? So you again have to pick a side. You can't believe in faith for one thing and then act in fear, right? They don't go together. They are now at war. So I need you to understand that is the same spiritual war that you have physically. I just want you to see how those dots connect, right? Now, can I give you all some facts? Y'all know I love facts, all right? Let me help you, because you said, I know you said it. I heard you actually say, George, you make it sound easy, but it's not easy, right? I was talking to one of my friends and they had to take some medication. And she literally said, I'm so tired of having to take this medication. And in my mind, I was like, if you are tired, start acting as if you're tired. Make better decisions. My mom used to always tell me this. Y'all know I was real bad. I got in a lot of trouble growing up, and trouble came with a lot of whoopings from my dad, right? And so my mom would be like, are you not tired of getting in trouble? Are you not tired of having your dad beat on you like that? And I'd be like, Ma, I am tired. And she'd be like, no, you're not, because if you were, you would make better decisions. And so I'm saying to us, if we are tired of being in said positions health-wise, then why are we not making better decisions? All right, I'll give you this. Globally, okay, globally, worldwide, poor diet is linked to about 12.2% of all deaths, with cardiovascular disease being the leading cause. In the US, about 6 of the 10 leading causes of death have a connection to diet. Can I say that to you again? In the US, about 6 of the 10 leading causes of death have a connection to diet. The choice is what you put on your plate. Yeah, it's the holiday season. Yeah, we're about to go into Thanksgiving. And yeah, you already been looking forward to going to so-and-so's house, because you know so-and-so gonna have this, this, and this, and you've been waiting to have this, this, and this. But I'm asking you this simple question. What is this, this, and this going to cost you? You're going to have that meal at what cost? You continue to eat that way at what cost? Right? What is the cost? Everything in life has a cost. If you want a car, you have to buy it, right? And you buy the car and you pay a monthly car note, right? Not only do you pay a monthly car note, but every time you drive the car, you have to make sure there is gas in it. Gas costs. You want to go from point A to point B, you got to have gas. Gas costs. You want to go from point A to point B, you have to maintain the car. That costs. Everything in life costs. Why do you think that the decisions that you make at a table don't have a lasting effect on your life? I'm going to give you that fact again. In the US, about 6 of the 10 leading causes of death have a connection to diet. Why do you think it's not important what you eat? Why do you think it's not important? How long will you continue to be at war with yourself? You say up here, I want so much better for me. You say up here, oh man, I wish I could, blah, 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 blah. Oh man, I really want to be in that size. Okay. Oh man, I really want to be able to go and do blah, 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 blah. You say these things, and then your actions now act in opposition to what you say. You are at war. And I'm telling you, do you know how? Okay, I got you, right? You ever like been out somewhere and you see somebody with a mental illness, and this is not a joke, but you see someone with a mental illness and now they are having a conversation with themselves, like a full-blown conversation with themselves. And it baffles you because you just look at that and you're like, man, they are like truly having a full conversation with themselves. There is a true war going on within that person. And the same way you look at that and it's so puzzling to you or alarming to you to see it happen, I need you to understand that is you on a daily basis, because you want one thing, but here, the stomach, here you eat everything that goes against what I'm thinking up here. You are at war. You are truly at war. All right, I'll give you some examples if y'all are okay. Can I give y'all some examples? Examples of diseases linked to diet. Cardiovascular diseases. Some of these we've talked about, some of these we have not. Cardiovascular disease. Poor diets, high in saturated fats, sugar, sodium contribute to heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. I'm just telling you, like when you're at war with yourself and you're saying these are the things you want and you're saying all these medications, you got a medication package Monday through Sunday. And a lot of these could be minimized or taken away from you based on you making certain decisions at a table, based on you making certain decisions when you go out, based on you making a decision in the grocery store. Hey, I'm going to cook. I'm going to eat better, not just for today, not just because I have a trip coming up, not just because my birthday is in a couple months, but because I want to be here and how I eat affects my body. Cancer. Oh, the big C. Everybody be cancer, but then we don't do the things that help to minimize the risk of cancer. How does that go? Cancer. Poor dietary habits are linked to an increased risk of some cancers, with some estimates suggesting that up to 30% of all cancer cases could be prevented by diet and lifestyle. I just need you to hear that. Poor dietary habits linked cancer. Poor dietary habits are linked to an increased risk of some cancers, with some estimates suggesting that up to 30% of all cancer cases could be prevented by diet and lifestyle. Nobody's going to tell you what to eat, right? Nobody's going to tell you how to eat. Nobody's going to tell you what you can and cannot have. Nobody's going to tell you because you grown. Nobody gonna tell you you can't keep eating fried chicken because you like fried chicken. You grown. Nobody gonna tell you that you can't eat a bowl of Bluebell ice cream every night before you go to bed because you grown. Nobody's gonna tell you that, right? That's what you say. Nobody's gonna tell me how I can eat. Nobody's gonna tell me that when I go to a restaurant, I can't truly get the things that I want. Nobody's gonna tell you that, right? That's what you keep saying. And I need you to understand that is war. Because every morning when you start the day off popping pills, or every time you eat, you got to take certain medications to lower this. And this helps with my blood pressure. And this helps with this. And this helps with this. And this is supposed to cut down on this. And I'm tired of all these things, but nobody's going to tell me what to eat. Come on. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Obesity is often linked to diet. It is associated with at least 13 types of cancer. Hello. Obesity is often linked to diet. We know that, right? But did we know that it is associated with at least 13 types of cancer? It's all in what you put on your plate. Stop fighting against yourself. We understand the decisions that we need to make, right? We had a big community service project, and I ran into one of the members, and this happens all the time. Like, I love y'all. I never take this the wrong way. Trust me, right? And I ran into one of the members, and I went to give her a hug. I said, "Hey, good morning. How are you?" And I went to give her a hug, right? And when I went to give her a hug, she pushed me back. She said, I don't like you." And I said, "Huh? You don't like me? What I do? What I do?" And she said, "I used to like you, but now I don't." And I said, "Well, how? Like, how?" And she said, "Because I watched your show, My Plate, My Choice." She said, "And we were all good until you started talking about coffee. I love coffee, and I love coffee my way. And you started talking about it, and you made me feel bad and think about what I was doing." I said, "Well, I'm okay with you not liking me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I've had this conversation with many members. I'm okay if you get offended with me because I talk about things that force you to make a change. I'm okay with that. That's the whole reason why I do this. I'm okay with that. The information is out here. I just said, hey, let me make an avenue that takes it directly to the consumer. Let me take it directly to the people in a way that they can constantly go back and look at it. Just ask me. You got to just put them in the chat. We cover so many things here so that when it comes to decision making, now things get a bit easier because you got some backing. You can't just keep saying, I didn't know. I didn't know. Huh? I was talking to Jordan about one of her classes, and she had a test that she didn't do so well on. And I said, well, Jordan, make it make sense to me. She said, well, Dad, I didn't know the information. And I said, did the teacher teach on it? She said, yes. I said, well, then the moment that the information was available to you, you became responsible for the information. I'm saying to you, I'm not the only person out here that's giving this information out. I'm not. This information is readily available everywhere, right? So you are now responsible for the information that will help you to live a better lifestyle, that will help you to act in a manner that is the way God intended your body to function. Let me help you understand this. And if you just have any questions, I want you to go read your word. But in the Bible, I don't see that I created your body to be dependent on medication to function. He did not. God created us with a body that can take care of itself when it's taken care of, when it's given the proper things. You like it. Let me back up. All right, I'm gonna stay on track because I don't want to get mad. People think I'm fussing because I'm not fussing, but I do have some things I want to cover, and we run out of time. Type 2 diabetes. A diet high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Obesity and being overweight. Poor diets contribute to being overweight and obesity, which are risk factors for many other chronic diseases. Now, question, like since when did we start making excuses that my family big, so that's why I'm big? What you mean? How that makes sense? Where is that? My family big, so I'm big. Where is that? Houseway? You people get big based on what they eat. Never seen somebody who eats the right way, who puts the right things in their body and still gets big. I've never seen that before. You only get that way by taking in things that you do not need to have at and you overly indulge in those things. I tell you all, I never want you all to think I sit on here and I'm talking from a place of perfection. Like there aren't times where I enjoy cookies. I do. Like there aren't times where I don't enjoy sweets. I do. Right? Like there aren't times where I don't enjoy like wings and things like that. Like I do. But that's like a one-off. Like I enjoy it here and then I put it down and I keep it moving. It doesn't become an everyday thing. I don't need cookies every single day. I don't need donuts every single day. I don't need ice cream or whatever sweets I don't need those things. I don't need them regularly. I will have them, enjoy them, and let it go and keep moving. I'm okay. But some of us, our problem is like we keep having it. And it's like, okay, well, I had some cookies. Now I'm gonna eat some fried chicken. Okay, well, I had some fried chicken for breakfast. For lunch. Now I'm gonna eat. I think I want a burger for dinner, right? Like it's like you just could continue to compound things in a negative manner. Okay, let me say this to you. How does diet impact your health? How does diet impact my health? Why is my plate, my choice so important? Somebody said to me again this weekend at the community service project, they said, George, it is your plate, your choice. You are absolutely right. Like I don't try to force people. I just and you do with it what you want. Pastor stands on stage every Sunday and teaches the word, a good word, but you do with it what you want to do. He's not coming to you and shaking you and saying, receive this word and go out and walk in this word and be who God called you to be. He don't shake you and do that. He teaches the word. You do what you want to do with what you were taught. Same principle. Chronic diseases. Diets high in calories, saturated fats, trans fats, added sugars, and sodium contribute to chronic diseases such as heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Check this. Inflammation. Ultra-processed foods can cause inflammation, leading to issues in various organs, tissues, and increasing the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's and heart disease. Yeah, Dave's definitely on me this weekend. Yeah, for sure. Right. But listen, I'm going to close with this. I want to give you this. I'm going to give you a scripture and then I'm done. So Chronic disease. Unhealthy dietary habits are a primary preventable risk factor for numerous chronic conditions. A global study linked approximately 11 million annual deaths worldwide to dietary risk factors, making diet the leading risk factor globally, more than smoking. What? What you say? I'm going to give it to you again. Don't worry. Unhealthy dietary habits are a primary preventable risk. It's a preventable risk. Why? Because you can just make decisions when you're in the grocery store. You can just make decisions when you are thinking about pulling up on a fast food restaurant. You can just make decisions when you are thinking about going out with your friends. You can just make these decisions. That is why it is a preventable risk factor. For numerous chronic conditions, a global study linked approximately 11 million annual deaths worldwide to dietary risk factors, making diet the leading risk factor for mortality globally, more than smoking. I just need you to think about that and let that sink in. Major chronic diseases and conditions where diet is a contributing factor include cardiovascular disease, such as heart disease, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, including breast, liver, and pancreatic cancer, obesity and overweight, osteoporosis, chronic liver disease. I just need you to think about these things. It also says that one study that examined the association between diet and 48 individual chronic diseases found that healthy dietary patterns were associated with a lower risk for most of them. It's making decisions. Like, I'm just trying to help you win the war. I'm really just trying to help you win the war. I'm really just trying to help you win the war. I want to close with this text. And if you guys felt like I was fussing today, I wasn't. Like, I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate because, like, people are dying from decisions that they're making at a table every day. Like, we are looking at people die before their time for diseases that were linked to bad decisions that they continue to make at a table. And the crazy part is, I keep looking over here because, like, my kitchen is right here. And I just keep thinking about all the time that I spend in the kitchen. And when I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking. And when I'm cooking, I'm making a deposit. I'm sowing a seed. I'm making a deposit. I am making a constant deposit into what the future be. I am making a deposit into the longevity of my life. I am making a deposit into the lack of a dependency on certain medications because I'm making a deposit in the kitchen. I'm making a deposit in the kitchen. Like, what types of deposits are you making daily? Tangi, I see you. You know, we talk about that. Tangi's down 34 pounds. Like, we constantly talk, and, like, I'm so proud of Tangi. Decisions, making different decisions, adjustments. You would be shocked how small changes in your nutritional intake will benefit your life, like, in the long run. I'm saying, like, crazy things that you go sit in your doctor's office and they are trying to figure out how your numbers got so good so fast because you started making better decisions. They get upset when they got to pull you off medication. They don't like that. They want you to be dependent on the medications because Big Pharma makes money. And that's just the whole cycle, right? I don't want to do that. I want to stop the problem before it gets there. How do I do that? By making decisions in the kitchen. I close with this scripture. 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 through 20. 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 through 20. Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you with a high price, so you must honor God with your body. Now let's think about that. I was bought with a high price, which means there's a lot of value on my life. So if there's a lot of value on my life, that means that I must do things to protect this valuable life, right? Like if you have something of value, you make decisions to protect it, right? Women, okay, women, I'm gonna talk to y'all for a second. You get your hair done, right? Now, as soon as you get your hair done, there's certain things you are not going to do based on the style because you need to protect the style. You just made an investment with your time being in that shop. You made an investment with your money, paying the beautician or the stylist, and now you must do your part to protect said investment. So if it's raining, you be like, oh, I ain't gonna go outside. I can't, I can't go outside today. I just got my hair done. I can't even be out in all that rain. I can't do that. I ain't gonna do that. Right? You're not gonna get your hair done and then go get in the pool. Like that would be counterproductive, right? So in that example, you understand cost and protection of those things of high value. How do you ignore it with your body? How do you have an understanding that God bought you, God paid for you with such a high price, and you don't value him with your body and the actions that you take? God doesn't want your body to be beat down. God doesn't want your body to be needing so much assistance. You like all these different physical ailments going on. That is not God's desire for your body. It's not. You got to honor him with your body. You got to make decisions to protect that body. Certain things I do, it's simply to protect my body. I am unwilling to just go out and eat out every day. I'm unwilling to do that. Now, once a week, I might crave something, and that's okay. Because guess what? In a week's time span, I think I eat like 5 meals a day. 7 times is 35. Let's just say I eat 35 meals a week, right? So if I eat 35 meals a week and 1 or 2 meals out of those 35 are something that I wanted from somewhere, that's okay. That's okay. Okay. But I need you to look at the balance. If you eat 35 meals a week, and of the 35 meals you eat in a 7-day time span, 33 of them are terrible. 33 of them are from a fast food restaurant, or 33 of them are from a sit-down restaurant. I talked to a lady in the gym this morning. She was like, George, I'm really trying. Like, I'm trying, but I'm a foodie. I love good. We all do. We all love good food. You're not talking about something that everybody does in battle. We all love good food. But good food doesn't outweigh my desire to be here to watch my daughter grow up. Good food doesn't outweigh the desire to be here to raise my daughter in all with all my body functioning physically as it needs to. Jordan is beautiful, right? Them little knucklehead jokers, like I got to be ready in case one. Hey, what, my boy, watch back. I can't come out on no cane telling, hey, what, man? Come on. No, I gotta. The physical body has to be intact. So I'm saying, man, all that to say, man, we got to start making better decisions as a whole. And we got to start making decisions that will help us win this war that we fight with ourselves daily, hourly, weekly. Okay. I love you all. I appreciate you taking the time to like jump on the stream and hear me out today. Oh, and real quick, man, listen to everybody who donated, who sold, who invested their time with the Operation Embrace this weekend, man. Listen, I thank you like so much. That project was so impactful. Like that project was so impactful. From the bottom of my heart, and I know these are the sentiments of my parents as well. Like we truly appreciate you all being go-getters in the way of being there and being available to distribute the boxes, or making yourself available financially by way of sowing seed and donations. Like, thank you all so much. If you aren't able to do that, I do want to tell you this weekend, this Saturday, we are doing the grocery giveaway. We are doing 150 boxes for grocery giveaway this weekend at the Center of Excellence. So be there at 7 a.m. if you want to be a part of just being a blessing to just people who aren't in as good a position as you are. I would encourage you to make sure you set aside an hour Saturday morning from like 7 to 8 to be at the Center of Excellence and help out with that. Otherwise, man, you all be blessed and have a phenomenal week. To all my veterans, I appreciate your service. Happy early Veterans Day. Thank you all so much for what you've done. Thank you all so much for what you continue to do. I appreciate you, and I love